Okay, now I have a little more controversial kind of amendment, and we'll have to see how this one goes. Following each...
Is this a bylaw or a charter, Lenny?
This is the charter.
Charter, okay.
I think. We'll get clarification. Following each CFSAC meeting, the chair of the CFSAC will meet with the Assistant Secretary of Health to review recommendations. There will be a mechanism established so that each recommendation made to the Secretary will have a specific response announced to the CFSAC members and the public.
Wanda, does any other advisory committee chair do that currently?
No.
And didn't he say that there were 150 of them?
Yes.
Good luck.
Yeah, but if nobody else does it, it's...
He has 11 that report to him.
Correctly. But we report to him through you, correct?
Yes.
So
we want to be number 12, according
Assuming we approve this, the Secretary has the ability to ignore that, correct?
Not if it's in the charter.
Yeah, I'm not sure, again, if that's specified in the charter, we can't control what happens on the, on the other end. I mean, we send reporting through. Our charter doesn't address what the HHS processes are for managing advisory committee. That's bigger than this advisory committee.
We're not running the risk of the charter not being renewed by making this ask, are we?
Well, this will still be reviewed by council once it's all worked up and finished, and they're likely to strike that. Again, that's something operationally in the bylaws, that's what we would strive to do at the very least. Have a conference call, like Dr. Coe connected with Chris before the meeting. He's committed to following up afterward. And, if we can put something like that in place, if for future administrations we could clone Dr. Coe and have that kind of engagement and, and commitment, we can't guarantee that. This is very much driven by the person you get in that position who, things are sent forward, but what happens to them after that? That's where the departmental processes need attention.
So if we make it a bylaw, it's not as controversial as if we put it in the charter, but at least it gets it out there in print.
It is an advisory committee to the Secretary. And so, under the Advisory Committee Act, by being constituted as an advisory committee to the Secretary, it means all of your recommendations go to the Secretary. And, like I said, if that process for follow-up and all has fallen through at that transmittal and follow-up level, that's out of our hands. That is a departmental black mark, if you will. And I know it's one that they are attending to. And I've seen, sitting where I sit now, I see advisory committee recommendations come through, some of which, one thing I think we could do better in the bylaws is to have it come from Chris and signed by Chris as the chair of the advisory committee. It shouldn't be coming from me. I might transmit it on behalf, from my office as the DFO, but on behalf of the committee, it's transmitted by the chair. I think those seem to carry much more weight. Those are some pretty impressive packages that come through.
There's no second for the motion at the moment.
Oops, we've been talking about it.
What if we designate like a minimum of 3 recommendations that must be answered by the Secretary, or some number, or...
And how soon? In budget years. If you hit at the end of the budget year, nothing's going to happen. There again, you've got opportunities for the next budget year. But some recommendations may be doable, but it may take more forward planning because resources are already committed. So it's going to take 6 to 9 months before the first real glimmer of anything happening is visible.
What if this was bylaws instead of charter? Would that be... It's basically an operating rule more than it is a charter kind of rule.
I would consider that a friendly amendment. And again, I just think having something like this stated probably indicates our interest in this and our concern about this and the fact that there's been a problem in this area, and it just sort of puts it there out that says we really want dialogue and we want conversations and we want to make sure some of the things that have happened in the past don't happen in the future.
We've actually got that out there, and it's been acknowledged by the Undersecretary. So my only concern is that the language is appropriate to that. I don't mind having it in writing, but it did acknowledge the problem, and we just need to see what the next step is going to be. If he starts to address it, then that'll be great. I was very encouraged today. If we add something like every effort should be made, or just to soften it a little bit. Generally, I don't like softening things, but
That's a friendly amendment. Every effort should be made. I find that's no problem. If you want to put that in, that's fine.
but we never had a second anyway. But
We got a second.
so I didn't write that down again, Lenny. Can you just get it? So this is a bylaw.
Bylaw motion.
Yeah.
Following each CFSAC meeting, the chair of the CFAC will meet with the Assistant Secretary of Health to review recommendations. There will be a mechanism established so that each recommendation made to the Secretary will have a specific response announced to the CFSAC members and the public.
Okay.
And every effort made.
Goes in prior to the...
That's right.
Should be made for the chair to meet with the
Exactly.
Secretary. And that covers the feedback as well. And he certainly got the message that feedback is important to us, both in terms of doing our job and seeing where we stand with the
So,
recommendations.
Chris, for example, when you talked to the Undersecretary, was there a conversation about after this meeting, we have several recommendations, that there will be an effort for you to directly talk with him about these recommendations? Was there any dialogue about that?
That was not addressed in my
That was my
conversation
concern.
with him. So.
We talked about it after you hung up. Unfortunately, I realized after we were finished that this has been the big hang-up. So
Yeah.
but he had
So-
indicated he's willing.
So I put it out there in my conversation, but obviously it was relative news to him, which he certainly needed to process. Okay.
Do you have a second?
Any further discussion? All those in favour? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.